I'm trying to record the history of my state so that students 25, 50, 100 years from now can find a picture, say, of Pipe Springs, Arizona. Or if they're interested in Indians, they can look at my photographs of Indians as they were. That's the whole purpose of it.
What I am setting out to do with the foundation, I am fulfilling his wishes. His wishes were to document Arizona and show the beauty of the landscape and the people, which he did, I think, quite successfully.
When I was born in Phoenix, Arizona, when it was a territory, there were 10,000 people living in the whole area. Those are the changes. You see a small village and you come back to it now and it's a big town or a big city. And it's interesting to look at pictures. I think of one I took from a dirigible back in the 1930s of Camelback Road, one of our most famous roads, and there was nothing on it, just a dirt road with orange trees. And now there's nothing on it but 20-story buildings. And those things are interesting to look at.
Although Barry Goldwater is best known as a politician, a man who dedicated his life to Arizona, he might have been even more passionate about his photography. He was one of our first and most important photographers. He was a contributor for many decades, and we still use his photographs today. We use them, of course, because they're spectacular photographs, but also because they're historically significant. In addition to being a master technician and having a photographer's eye, Mr. Goldwater had access to places that were typically off limits to most photographers, including the Hopi and Navajo nations. He was allowed into those places because he built relationships with the people. He respected them and they respected and trusted him. And as a result, he was able to make photographs of people, places, and things that in many cases had never been seen before. His photographs are some of the most beautiful we've ever published in Arizona highways, and also the most important.
Since the early 20th century, film, negatives, and later slides were made of cellulose acetate, which is a plastic. Over time, exposure to moisture, heat, and acids caused deterioration. There is no practical way of halting or reversing this process other than digitizing. The Foundation's goal is to work quickly to preserve these important and priceless images before they crumble and turn to dust. It is imperative for us to protect the collection before these images of our history disappear forever.
Whether or not he knew it at the time, Mr. Goldwater was documenting history for future generations.
In my work with the Booth Western Art Museum, I've had the opportunity to work with Senator Goldwater's photography in 2 different exhibitions. It was interesting we were able to draw on the foreword to the book on Goldwater's photography, in which Ansel Adams said he regarded Goldwater to be a very talented and eager photographer, one who also had shot images of historic and interpretive significance, something that he thanked the senator for and encouraged other people to support. I think it only fitting that perhaps Senator Goldwater's legacy in photography wind up in his home state of Arizona, where of course Ansel Adams' work and life story is also preserved.
The Foundation's mission is to preserve and curate the Goldwater photo archives, create exhibits, and develop educational platforms in efforts to promote Arizona's cultural heritage. It's really important that we don't let this go away forever. We need to really save this history. And that's my mission. That's what I'm doing.